Hi, I wanted to walk you through my new school community that I've recently started for seven-figure home service business owners that want to get to $10 million and more in annual revenue. So I'm going to walk you through it, show you what you get. We've just recently started. There's only 21 members currently in the program, and the price will be going up here once we get past 50. So I'm going to walk you through what you get. I'm going to take you inside the program so you know exactly what to expect, what you can learn, and the quality of the individuals inside the community. So feel free, if you go to school.com/boardroom, you're going to see this page right here. I'm going to walk you through it, and then I'm going to go inside the course material and see exactly what you're going to get. So feel free to go to this page though and see a little bit about me, about what you get inside, etc. Now the part that isn't said in the about page below is this part right here, which is if you don't grow by $100,000 in revenue within 12 months, and you do the courses, and you do the challenges that we have inside of the program, I'll give you your money back on your way out the door. And I'm confident that if you do the 12 challenges that we have inside the program, you will 100% grow by more than $100,000. Now, if you do the math on $100,000 in annual revenue, let's say you're going to make $20,000 in profit, so 20% margin on that $100,000. If you take the cost of this program, you get all of it back within 1 year, guaranteed. You are not going to get that kind of return on your investment in the stock market, real estate, etc. I happen to believe you're not going to grow just by 100,000 because that's what I guarantee. I believe you will grow significantly more in revenue being inside the program because of one thing. If you listen to my content before, you've heard me talk about the 4L framework. That is the reason why every home service business stops growing. And the big thing that happens when someone passes $1 million in annual revenue is that they figured out how to make money. They figured out leads and getting more customers. They figured out how to get laborers and attract great talent. But the challenge to scaling past 8, 9, 10, 12 technicians is your ability to be a great leader. And what gets you to $1 million in annual revenue is typically working harder, more hours, grit, determination, knocking on doors, and figuring out sales. And then figuring out how to be a manager for your technicians. But the next level, to get to $10 million in annual revenue, you've got to become the leader that great managers want to work for, that great A+ talent and technicians in your market want to work for. That's what this school community is built around. It is not built around sales hacks, tactics, pricing optimization, how to do a system, a procedure, a checklist, an SOP. That's not going to be the focus. Will we talk about these things? Yes. But in my opinion, the thing that keeps most entrepreneurs that cross $1 million keeps them under 2 or 3 is the fact that they never become the leader that is required to get to 10 million. And the entrepreneurs that I have met that are 8, 9, and 10-figure entrepreneurs, they have the ability to be the leader that attracts incredible talent and retains them. And so that's what this is focused on, becoming the leader that is required to get to over $10 million in annual revenue. So the very first thing is you have to have $1 million in revenue. We will actually require you to give us a profit and loss statement that shows either $80,000 a month in revenue or $1 million in annual revenue. This is for any home service business, whether it be lawn care, cleaning, landscaping, pest control, HVAC, roofing, plumbing, you name it. Any home service business, any blue collar trade, this is where you are welcome to join. So let's talk about a little bit what you get inside. But the topics that we are really covering is leadership, systems, management, how to attract managers, your health, your communication style, and even compensation models for your managers to make sure that they're incentivized to run the business, even if you're not there and you're not in daily operations, whether you have multiple locations or you're scaling up one massive location. As you pass 3, 5, 8, 10 million in revenue, the constraint is almost always you as the leader. And I figured out this the hard way, beating my head up against the wall, thinking I need another marketing hack, a lead problem. I couldn't get the right technicians. And ultimately, the 4L framework, in order to continue the growth of the business, I've got to solve the constraint of leadership. And as daunting as that is, and frustrating is that you are the problem, the cool thing is you can fix it. And that's what this entire group is for. Now, the reason I've made it where you have to be over $1 million is because I've been in groups where there's a bunch of people that are $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in annual revenue, and nothing against them, but it's very difficult to be at 2 and 3 million and needing information about leadership, compensation models, being able to figure out how to scale. It's very difficult to think about that and know that's your problems when people are trying to figure out their first 10 customers. And so you're wading through 95, 99% of the content trying to figure out what do I need, versus in this case, everyone inside the community has built a 7-figure business and it's been verified. So every month we're going to do a live Q&A with myself. You can hop on the call. Also, on a monthly basis, you're going to masterclass on one specific topic. I just finished doing one of these masterclasses the other day, 4 hours of content on one topic. I'm going to share you a little bit behind the scenes in just a second what those are. But things like leadership, systems, investing, health, communication. You're like, what does health have to do with anything? I make everything in the courses directly attributable to you being a little leader inside of your business. If you can't control the 24 inches between your table and your mouth, if you can't control that, how do you think you're going to be able to show up as the leader that great talent wants to see, be able to live a life and be the leader that others want to emulate and want to adopt your culture inside their own philosophy of work? These are the type of things we discuss. And every single month, there's a challenge. So we actually have an accountability tracker. I'm going to show you what it is. Everyone inside the group that joins and whether or not they started, whether or not they completed the monthly challenges. So for example, on the health one, the first 30 days, you're going to be tracking all your calories, all your workouts, and you're going to work out 30 days straight. Also, get access to one-on-one to myself. This will be anonymous, so you're able to bring any issues or problems you're having with a manager or with a team member and anonymously talk to myself and get one-on-one coaching. Annually, for everyone that's in the program, once you've been through all 12 months, you're going to be invited to an annual retreat. It's going to be for you and for your spouse or your significant other to be able to get with other like-minded couples that are trying to grow their business, trying to get to the next level and are at your exact stage. They're also dealing with these issues of, how do I hand this off to my kids? How do I sell the business? How do I get it to where I attract great managers? What am I looking for in great managers? And this retreat will usually be out of the country. It'll be more of a vacation style, but a little bit of a retreat where an hour or two every day, we're getting all the couples together, building the empire that we all are trying to aspire to do, means having a rock solid relationship and a marriage that we have the freedom and we have the flexibility to be able to then go out and kill it in our businesses, be the leader that we need to be in the business, because at the home front, things are solid. We have that support and we have that confidence. It's expensive. It's $1,600 a month, and that's on purpose. It is a way to make sure that the quality of the group is very high, that people, when they come in, they're dedicated to accountability and making sure they actually see change in their organization. And I'm very confident that if you do all 12 of these months, you're going to grow your business a lot more than $100,000. Let's go ahead and jump in though and see a little bit behind the curtain. So right here, we have the accountability tracker where on a Google Sheet, we're going to see all the members that have joined, and we just started the group. So that's why there's only 20 people in here now, whether they started the challenge and whether they completed. But you'll see there are 12 challenges throughout the entire year. This is not just about learning or a course. This is about executing. And every single month, as you receive one of the master classes, action is required and accountability to the rest of the group that you're actually making these changes inside of your life, inside of your business, and you as a leader. Now, let's look a little bit behind the curtain and see what you get. Once you get inside, there's a start here where it's going to walk you through everything to do with the course and just get started introducing yourself to the rest of the community. And that is required to be able to unlock the first 2 modules. The first module being the recorded live calls. So whenever we have a live call, you'll get immediate access to this once you've done your introduction. And then you'll also get access to course 1. Every 30 days, you're going to get a new one of these courses. And each of these are pretty long and lengthy in terms of the actual content. At the end of each one, though, you have to do the 30-day challenge. So, for example, this is the marriage advantage. There are 4 parts in here that I go through, as well as the 30-day challenge. It's meant to be taken with your spouse. And we have what we call the marriage constitution that we develop inside of here. We create a budget. We run a profit and loss statement for you and for your spouse, just like you would your business, and get harmony and alignment and communication when it comes to money and a lot of other aspects of life in order to be able to show up to work and be the leader that you want to be. And the leader is required to get to $10 million in annual revenue. So this is 4 hours long. Each of these are an hour long. It's pretty lengthy, But once you listen to the content, it's not just a matter of hearing the content and then moving on to another one. You got 30 days to then go to the community. You can see here, this is where people are introducing themselves, making posts, etc. But they're also committing to the 30-day challenge. So since we just started, these are people that are committing to the 30-day challenge around health, workouts, the food, and tracking it. So these are members inside the group, all with over $1 million businesses and home services. And it's a incredible group of entrepreneurs. You can see we have where people are introducing themselves, talking about where they're coming from, what they've been up to, some of the constraints in their current business, as well as where they are talking about their 30-day challenge, wins that are happening in their day, where you can see, for example, the tracking of their workouts, their food, etc. So this is inside the community. At the end of the 12 months, there's a retreat now where everyone's invited and we will go around the world, experience incredible places together as a community. And I truly believe that this is the group, the group that gets you from 1 million to 10 million, because all the Facebook ads, all of the marketing hacks, all of those things will get you to 1 million. But once you get there, there's very little content online. Like if I do a 4-hour video with a Google Doc going through really, really nitty gritty details about becoming a better leader, no one's watching. It bombs my channel, and I have a whole media team that we need to make sure we provide for. And so this is a way of making sure that for the 1%, 2% of my audience that has this size of business and is trying to have the audacity to build a $10 million business, there's content, there's education, and there's material for you and for your spouse to be able to become the leaders that are required to build this size of business. And we incorporate a lot of health, a lot of communication style, a lot of marriage, and other aspects of life that all culminate into you becoming the leader that is able to lead a better and bigger organization and be able to attract great talent. At the end of the day, in the 4O framework, that's what keeps most people between 1 and 3 million is they never become the leader that allows them to be able to scale, allows them to be able to attract managers that want to show up every single day and work for an incredible leader. So if that's of interest to you, go check it out. Just go to school.com/boardroom, and I look forward to seeing you inside the boardroom.